Welcome, friends. Today, we're doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 13th of November, 2022. Hurrah. And what a week it has been in fragrance. There's a little bit of everything here. There's some niche, there's some designer, vintage designer, some absolute classics, and something for everybody, you know. But you're starting to see like the really deep, darker stuff coming out now. The weather last week wasn't great, raining a lot. Strangely enough, today has been actually like, it's really quite mild. It's like 15, 16 Celsius up here. Maybe even a little bit higher. It's warmer than most spring and early summer days, to be honest with you. But we will start at the beginning, which is usually a good place to start. And first, I wore... Oh, good heavens. Anyway, first I wore, on Monday, M7 Oud Absolute, not the vintage one. I'm going to try and get through this bottle. I've used a lot of this juice, as you can see. I used to think the performance on this was rubbish, but now I've come like back to it and started wearing it again. I think the performance is all right, actually, about 7 to 8 hours, which is fair enough. You know, it's not going to last all day. It's a good reformulation of the original. The original is better. It's a bit richer, a bit denser, more of the cola vibe from it. This is a lot more sort of murry, whereas the original one was like a bit more sort of like patchouli oody. This one's tried to like bulk up on the myrrh, and you can't smell the myrrh. You get a slight rubber note from it, which is a little bit weird, I won't lie. But I really love this stuff. It's absolutely sensational. It's got this cola vibe. It's a bit like a Escada Magnetism. Actually, I think this came out first. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that up. But this is an awesome fragrance. Absolutely love it. A designer classic. It is still available. I was at a YSL stand yesterday. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I was at the YSL stand yesterday. And it is still available. It's locked away though. They don't have it out front and centre, unfortunately. So if you ask, you might still be able to find it in stores. About 72 quid, I think it was, retail, which is, honestly, for what you get, you get a really good fragrance. Next I decided to wear something that I only recently bought, and I've only got a little, like... It's not a decant because it's like an official sort of variant, but it's one of these 11ml in recharge refill things from Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Grand Soir. Nice. I enjoyed this quite a lot, although it is, for me, a little basic. I've got other ambers that do what this does a lot better. I'm glad I only got this little 11ml. Really good value, I thought. You know, you're only spending like 40 quid, 35, 40 quid. And you get like, that's enough to find out whether you want to buy a full bottle or not. And I don't think I will be, but bearing in mind I've only given this a full wear once. It was released in 2016. Obviously Kurkdjian was the perfumer. It is a very, very typical amber. And while it's good ingredients and it does what it does what an amber should, it does it properly, but the money he wants for it's a bit crazy for what it is. You know, it's a little bit much. It's a good fragrance, quality fragrance. But on the balance, I'm not going to get a bottle. I'm not going to get a bottle of this. So, but you can expect to see it because I'll wear through that because I do like it. I might get halfway through it and give it away to someone, you know. Who knows? Who knows? Anyhow, next, from the ordinary to the extraordinary. And this fragrance is extraordinary. I haven't worn this for a long time. And when I wore it, it took me right back. It took me right back to when I first discovered this brand. And I loved this. And I wore this more than I wore Chergui. And this is Santal Majuscule by Serge Lutens. This is an absolutely incredible fragrance. Rose, cacao, sandalwood, that's all that's in it. And that's all you smell. And yet, the depth, the effect it gives is absolutely amazing. I've talked before about 3D fragrances, about fragrances you feel you can step inside them, you know? Like you can't look around them, you can't see them from the outside. That's what this is like. This is absolutely amazing. I haven't smelled the latest one, but surely they couldn't have butchered it so much that it would be a bad fragrance now. I would like to smell the latest one because I'd like to know whether I can stand behind it. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to know whether I could like recommend it to people. But there's no Serge Lutens counter like anywhere near where I live, like absolutely nowhere. I'm pretty sure they might have like reduced it all down to like London, you know? Which is an absolute pig because I love Serge Lutens. That said, I wouldn't buy the new bottles. These old bottles, sorry, I'm hogging the bottle, you can't see it. These old bottles are absolutely beautiful. I'll like keep these when I'm finished them, you know. They're stunning. Beautiful fragrances. Absolutely beautiful fragrances. I highly recommend you try and get your nose on this. It's rich. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit fresh. So it doesn't smell anything other than like high class. Beautiful. Could have been a Chanel. It's fragrances like this why Christopher Sheldrake now works for Chanel. I'm convinced. Absolute quality. Top quality. Okay, so moving on. Next, I actually went out on Thursday to the shops, and I was wearing my best clobber clothes, and I decided to wear one of my best fragrances. And I do love this as one of my top leather perfumes. This is Queer by Mona Diorio. This is I'd say it's widely available. This is available. You can just go out and buy this right now. And if you like leather fragrances, this is one of the top leather fragrances. It's smoky, it's leather, it's a little bit green, it's a little bit salty. It's absolutely stunning. Anybody could wear this. Anybody could wear this. You know, man, woman, maybe not child. It's got this cardamom note at the top, which gives it a little bit of accessibility as well. But the castoreum in this is one of the best I've smelled, best blended. This was one of the fragrances that Mona Diorio made herself. It's got this, it smells like black leather, you know, doesn't smell like brown leather, white leather, any other kind, red leather, any other kind of leather. It smells like black leather. If you were a young woman and you dress well and you're chic, this would be perfect for you. But you've got to wear like black sunglasses and you've got to wear like a leather jacket. It's almost like a prerequisite to wearing this fragrance. You've got to wear some kind of leather jacket. This is incredible. I love it. One of the best modern fragrances you will smell. Only came out in 2010. This is the modern packaging. I really want a bottle of the old packaging. I'll put the feelers out and see if I can get one. Anyway, next, Friday. Friday came and I decided to treat myself, and so I did. And I wore Balenciaga Pour Homme. I do not wear this enough. This is just one of those fragrances that every time you wear it, every time I wear it, I absolutely love it. It is one of, if not my favourite fragrance. It is everything I like in a fragrance. It's like honey, patchouli, oak moss, cinnamon, Gerard Anthony special. He's never made a bad perfume. Absolutely stunning. Love the bottle, love the built-in sprayer. Love this crazy green, blue, turquoise, and it's got little streaks of gold in it as well. With like the little black atomizer too, just perfect. Absolutely love it. Love the way it feels, love the way it looks, love the way it smells, everything about it. I need to review it at some point. I just want to make sure I'm going to do it justice. Like, I don't usually do like taking notes and stuff like that, but for like a perfume like that, for like this, I might like do like talking points and stuff. Usually I just sit down and start talking about perfumes, really, as you can probably tell. Yesterday I wore a vintage classic, which I picked up recently, as you will know, because I did an unboxing on it. Not sure how I'm feeling about the sprayer still, because it's absolutely shit, but it does still work, so I haven't decanted it yet. This is Macasa by Rochas. Pine, smoky leather. Again, you're getting the sort of the smoky vibe from these fragrances. This is like a vintage classic for me. It's everything you want. It's got, I'm sure this has got oak moss in it. Yes, of course it has. Carnation. It's green but leathery. It's really, really, really good. I love this. This is one of the reasons why you shouldn't do top 10 lists, in my opinion, or if you do, you should do them very sparingly, because I was going to do a top 10 leather perfumes with Eugene about a year and a half ago, and it would just never happened. You know, these things get talked about and they just don't happen sometimes. We could still do it, you know, but I didn't have this fragrance at the time, and if I did have this fragrance, it would have been in, definitely, you know. So it's funny. That's like these people who do top 10 lists, they're just talking heads, you know. Anything for a click. Anyway, next, I really need to stop picking stuff up by the cap. I'm a stupid man. Today, even scent of the day. I shan't be spraying this. Usually I give myself a spray when I talk about my scent of the day, but not today. Not today, Satan, because this is extremely powerful. And this is Bois d'Assis by Naomi Goodser. This is one of 2 fragrances I own by them. And it is a massive incense, smoky fragrance. A little bit of amber in there as well. Tobacco, I think there's like a boozy sort of accord in here as well. Ambery, a little bit of oak moss in there, a little bit of smoky oak moss. Smoke moss? A little bit of smoky oak moss in there as well. Very powerful, very strong, high quality fragrance. Very high quality fragrance from this brand. All of their fragrances are good. Maybe it's with with one or two exceptions. I really didn't like that Eau de Sorel. Far too sweet for me. Smelled far too much like Herod. Corpus Equus, I've got Hyrax, so I don't need Corpus Equus, you know. There's a very similar note in there. It must be like a new molecule that they've created and that they're using at the minute. It's like a very tangy animalic note, very strange. But the house overall is absolutely fantastic. And yes, I am wearing this today because I hadn't worn it for a while and I missed it. So, this has been my fragrance rotation for this week. I hope you have enjoyed it, friends. I will be back soon as I am starting on the Parfum d'Empire trail, and there are like 20 plus fragrances to try, so that will be epic. And I'll be doing that this week. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I will see you again soon. Bye.